Thursday night. It's time to rock and roll. We're talking scheduling. Who's got the best schedule? Who's got the worst? What are the primetime games? What are the holiday games? Where are the big matchups going to lay out? Tonight, we discuss them. It's Dole Whip Dad. It's a special guest as Myers and the Mouse is out of the house. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it all starts now. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Great to see you all here tonight. Welcome into my two co-broadcasters of the evening, Dole Whip Dad and Dave of Brandy and Dave. He is green. It's St. Patrick's Day all the time in Dave's world. David, good to see you.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I have a question.
Too early for a question.
When is this program going to allow me to have a green screen behind me?
The third Saturday of November.
Sweet.
David, how you doing, buddy?
I am well, Peter. How are you, sir? What's going on?
I'm doing good. We're talking football. I'm sitting with friends. That's always a great thing. I always look forward to Thursday nights. Thank you for filling in for Myers and the Mouse. He is in the house of the mouse. Literally, he's out in California, busy taking some time. Yeah, it's a good thing for him. So thank you for filling in. And Dole Whip Dad, what are you laughing about now?
Somebody's blowing their nose in the background or having an enema or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but hey, I'm in a great mood. I like your green screen, Dave. I don't care what you say. And yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's talk some football.
Well, there we go. We are going to talk some football. Here's the key. Let me pull this up over here and jump it up this way, I guess is the way I got to do it. Let's talk about the guest tonight. We always bring in a guest host. It's somebody you know who's been here before. He raised the little cane. I heard we got to have more Chargers fans in the house, so I complied.
Yeah, baby.
Legalities on it. And we're bringing in Jay Sanudo. What's up, Justin?
Hey.
Welcome in.
Let's go on. San Diego Superchargers.
Oh, wait, not San Diego anymore. City, but great song.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I
appreciate you bringing me back, Pete. I guess my content wasn't rated R enough to get kicked off. So
not
I appreciate
yet.
it.
We're working on that tonight. We'll see what we can do. Welcome in. T. Marie's Place is in the chat. All you guys are in the chat. Jesse's in the chat. Greg at Disney Fanatics is in the chat. Movie Mania Nick, Joy S. Welcome in. We got a lot of friends here tonight. So tonight's going to be a little bit different of a show in the fact that we're not going to have the normal screen layout. Our layout is going to be that we're going to sit and look at the schedule. I'm going to bring up a screen in a few minutes. And we're kind of going to look at just each week kind of what games jump out at us. We all know there's big matchups within our own conference. We'll look at some of the holiday schedules. Kind of scoot through. We'll take questions along the way as we go. If there's a question from the chat, if you have a question about anything with the league, your players, what's going on, who's moving, who's doing what, we'll talk about all that in accordance as well. Later on tonight, Gene will come in and talk about whatever he's going to drop out in his usual audible.
Jets future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, the Jets future Hall of Famers. They had a half decent draft. I guess he figures they're going to win 30 games this year, even though I think we only play 18. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure he'll have something to say about that when it comes time for whenever he gets fired up. I never know when he's coming. It's all when the show gets him all riled up. Real quick before we go and drop over and start talking schedule, we got a couple things of to get off the table. So first, let's get off the table. Let's talk about this for a second. My punter is retired. We talked about this, chatting about it right before we started out. It is a big loss potentially for the Ravens because the kid was with us 16 years. He's got almost all the top stats in the NFL for punting, and he helped us in field position a ton with the way our offense is heavy run related. We played a lot of field position. I know that we're not a high powered offense. So Dave, I know you played against him a lot through the years and raised a lot of cane. I'm sure you're glad to see him gone.
Well, it's yes, there are many a game that I can think back to between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens that you're like, oh, we got him deep and everything's fine, and then he would switch the field, right? So I mean, here's my deal. You're there for 16 years. You're probably going to have a reasonable amount of the records playing for a team like Baltimore. But it's always bad to see that go when you never had to worry about it. I know when why can't I think of his name right now? Left Pittsburgh about 5 years back.
Which one?
It was that bad. Whichever the punter
Craig
was long term there. What's that?
Craig Colquitt.
I don't think that's it. I think it was like Miller.
He's the only Steeler punter I can
you talking about the punter, yeah.
Wasn't it Miller, the punter that was there forever?
Yeah.
And did well and then left, and it was just like a freaking free for all for a long time. Until they shored it up this past couple years. So we're good, but I'm with you. That one's always tough, and you hope that someone steps in or they find someone that will fill in well, but it can be something that screws you in the long run for sure.
We've always had a good kicking game. It's been interesting, Sanudo, as we've gone through. I don't know if everybody kind of laughs when you think about putting kickers and punters in a Hall of Fame, but you need those people to win in the big picture as a team. And he's done well. He's one that could have a chance in the long run. I know you saw him a couple times.
Yeah, punters are like, analogy to baseball, like umpires in baseball.
Yeah.
You don't really see them unless they're really bad, right?
Great.
And Koch was really good. He kind of revolutionized the punting where, he didn't have the greatest yards per punt because he was putting it in the 10-yard line and letting it roll out of bounds. He kind of revolutionized punting. And to be honest with you, I know Dole Whip Dad and I talk backstage and how much he loves punters. I think Koch needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's one of the best punters of our generation.
Jeff, he's retiring out. That changes the game for the Ravens a little bit.
I mean, so from a real football standpoint, you need a great punting game. I just said it before the show. I'll say it now. I just read the article. I see his name in chat, and I still don't know his name. He's not a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. He's a punter.
We say the same about Dak Prescott, but
he's not a Hall of Famer either. Yeah, maybe, but nowhere close yet.
Something else good I want to highlight before we start this week. Some of the ladies of our community are going to be starting a show, I believe, coming up in the next few weeks. That's going to be outside the huddle, where the ladies are going to get together and talk football after our show, which I think will be kind of unique. I love the fact that people in our community want to get to love football a little bit more. And you know what? If it brings in some more people into the community that love sports, we'll talk more about that when they're ready to go. I think we'll have one of the ladies come on and talk about what they're going to do and their game plan and all that in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. Next Thursday, Tina says it'll be next Thursday. So that'll be fun. We'll have to bring them on the show next Thursday. Tina, we'll bring you in for a little bit. We'll kick Gene out and bring you in, and you'll be better looking.
No punter talk. No punter talk allowed.
Yeah, well, there'll be plenty. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. But all right. So let's get into the schedule. Why don't we? I mean, that's the important thing about why we're all here tonight. And oh God,
it's a little early.
It's a lot early.
We haven't
Well, that's what it was. I mean, the punters are still part of the team, Jeff. So I mean, like,
Are they?
let's not pick on
Are
the
they? Are
punters.
the cheerleaders
Yeah,
too? Okay.
just because Dallas. Well, guys, you know what? We're talking schedule today, and I am not gonna. The Jets got to be the first team to be spoken about, and I think you all know why. Because come
It's
January,
one
they're gonna
forever.
be the most improved team in league history, right? Going from
I mean-
what 5 wins to 17 wins.
Seven-
That's pretty
When you-
Seven
when
wins?
You go 7 seasons in
Seven-
a row without a win. I mean, yeah.
every well, then you can understand why I'm so happy about a draft in May, right? So, but guys,
Hope
if
springs
you look
eternal.
at it, that's our mantra as Jet fans. Yes.
Isn't that in a song for you guys somewhere?
I think it's just end of the season is really what everyone loves to say. But this year's going to be different. We have all those Hall of Famers that we just drafted. I'm going to tell you right now, we aren't, you always want to look at your schedule, your team schedule, and say, hey, where are our wins? Where are our losses? Oh, so we do this. And then you always kind of come up with your number at the end. I don't even need to look at my schedule because at the end of the day, they've made the improvements that they need to go over 500 this year. I think they need to go 9-8. I think it's doable. I even look at their schedule, and I think they can go 9-8. And I think that's where I think that would show major improvement for a team that is on the upswing. Jeff, you even have to admit that they're on the top where they're going to be better than last year.
That's the best part of being the worst team right there.
Yeah, that's something in itself. I guess first off, coming in here and you want to talk the Jets going that many wins. No, that would be how we have to start that. But let's hold off on digging into your team. We'll talk Jets in a little bit. I'm gonna ask all the guys to talk about their teams individually here in just a little bit as we get going here on the thing. Since Gene's here,
Doggy is here.
Yes, he is here. Anybody saying the Jets are going to win that money, we'll go out with that early. But
they're the first team ever to not have an over/under. They just have an over.
Oh God, that's actually
a good one.
That's actually pretty good. I guess I should start giving out my points already and give.
Yeah, I just want the points. That's right. I want the points.
Give you your point already. Good job. Welcome into Magic of the Mouse Radio. Bill, good to see you. Ryan Rowe, good to see you. Brian K as well. Welcome in.
Jeff, I'll still take the under on that.
I mean, at 0, you just can open for a push.
0.5.
Let's talk about
I'll take
week
the under.
1. We'll start with Dave. We'll go Dave. We'll go Dave, Gene, Justin, and Dole Whip on this one. Looking at this schedule for week 1 here, what are the games? Pick 1, maybe 2 max for each of you. Just minimum 1, but max 2. For what jumps out at you as you look at week 1 schedule starting out. And I'd also like to point out there is not 2 Monday night games for the first time in a lot of years on week 1.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
First
Dave,
time in forever.
what are you thinking, Dave?
Sweet. Let's see. Pittsburgh is opening up at the AFC champion Bungles. We're gonna get to see what Mitch Hedberg or not Mitch Hedberg. What's his name?
Nice. Let's stick with Mitch.
I mean Mitch Trubisky, Mitch Hedberg, whatever his name is. Small hands or whatever other quarterback they decide to have. It's going to be a tough challenge in Cincinnati off the get. So I'm still sticking with the 3-14 Steelers this year. That's solid. The interesting one to me, right? So we talked draft, right?
Right.
Whose draft class is going to make more of an impact between Philly and Detroit, which were both tagged as top draft classes, right?
You're gonna piss off Gene, but okay.
And it literally surprises me that Green Bay, Minnesota's week 1.
Good.
That is not a fair weather game. That is a week 15, week 16 has to be snowing. Like if it snows in September just for that game, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I like it. Great call outs. Interesting. Gene, what jumps out at you week 1?
I love the LA Rams and the Buffalo Bills game, which obviously who wouldn't, right? I mean, it's Some people could say that might even be the Super Bowl preview this year. But I'll tell you, I really like the Tampa Bay Dallas game. I would love to see Dallas start off on the wrong foot and lose week one, which would be great for Jeff, I guess. But yeah, those are the two games I like the most. I also think if you want to go to some of the lesser games, another game that interests me is Seattle-Denver with Russell Wilson coming over. I don't think Seattle's going to be very good this year, but I also don't know how good Denver is going to be either. But that to me, that game really intrigues me to see that matchup.
Okay, love that. Summer Obi, great to see you in here. Sanudo, what are you looking at week one?
Hey, two games I want to talk about. You got San Francisco at Chicago. What is San Francisco? How is their quarterback situation going to work out? I think it's going to be fun and interesting to see that, especially in Chicago. And then Jacksonville and Washington. I know that sounds like a terrible game on paper, but really I think Jacksonville with a real head coach this year has the possibility to surprise people. And let's see how bad Carson Wentz is in Washington in week one.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. How bad is Wentz? Dolan, Dad, what do you see in week one that's jumping out at you?
I mean, I'm going to repeat what we already said. That first game is a great game. I actually, obviously, we're talking about the Rams hosting the Bills. Neither one of those teams is supposed to start 0-1. One of them has to, right? Outside of a tie. I love the NFL doing the Denver at Seattle thing. I don't think Seattle's going to be able to hang with them. But Russell, it's just a great story. But obviously, the best game of the week is the Sunday night game. It's not. I'm not saying that because I root for the Cowboys. Brady coming to Dallas. Come on, that's big time. That will be the game of the year. As a new Cowboy fan, because I grew up in San Diego and I came out here 10 years ago, I'm always amazed at how the Cowboys can start out 0-1 every year. And obviously, they're not going to be favored at home.
They are not. They are 2.5-point underdogs right now.
Yeah, so somebody go take care of Brady for just a little Tanya Harding thing for a week, and then we'll be good. Other than that, we're 0-1. That sucks, but I love it. I can't wait. Bring it.
Great points. I think other interesting stories here. Vegas and the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, that's a good divisional matchup right off the start. Same with New England, Miami. Great divisional matchup. Going to see what Miami's got. In a lot of cases, Miami is being picked higher than the Patriots this year in their finish, which is good. The other things I'd like to throw out is New York, Tennessee. We're going to see what type of New York changes they made defensively right off the bat. And then there was one other highlight that I saw, which was, I'm going to kick the snot out of the Jets that first week. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
We didn't talk about Casey at Arizona. Casey at Arizona is two of the biggest stars in the league, Mahomes and Murray. We didn't talk about that one at all. That's a good one.
Great call out. Here's the other thing too. Before I go to the second week, look at those ticket prices. Summer Obi was on it right now. He knew where I was going. Look at the ticket prices. The variation. It's tickets as low as, and out in Indianapolis, Houston, you got $29 tickets. But you go around the league, you got as low as in Vegas, $139, as low as in Chicago at $148, as low as in Los Angeles, $162. There is a huge variation. Look at the Monday night game. Look at the Monday night game. Tickets.
Yeah, that's because everyone wants to see Tom Brady play.
No, Monday night is Denver, Seattle.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
No, he said look at Dallas.
No, Monday.
When I saw the schedule come out, I'm like, okay, I might go to that. It's in the evening. I could pull that off. I think I got a second loan on my house to go. It's insane.
Well, it was crazy. So, all right, let's jump over here. I'm gonna jump over and pull up week 2. That's crazy though. $299 for that thing right there. And then, come on, I don't want to pull up the teams. Hold on, guys.
Dallas has standing room only.
For standing room only.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not looking at it right now. I think that's what it was. But for a real, that's not even with the seat. It's crazy.
Well, just think about Wilson coming back to Seattle in week 1. I mean, that's the ticket right there, right? If you live in the Northwest, you want to go to that game.
Oh yeah.
Question is, does he get booed or does he get cheered?
No, he gets cheered.
Oh,
I think it's cheered.
He gets cheered.
He gets cheered. He got traded, didn't leave.
Yeah, it's not like he was.
But he wanted to. There's so many rumors that he wanted out.
Yeah. He whined about it.
We'll find out, but they'll cheer him.
Waiting for week 3.
He's their greatest player ever.
There we go. Week 2, finally on the board. Sorry it took so long there. Gotta love it when it takes a second year with the internet and all it does. So let's look at week 2 here and see what we've got all the way through as we start this one. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit higher here on the screen for the matchup. Thursday night through Monday, there you go. This is weird because week 2, you get a double matchup on Monday night. However, they're going at the same time, so you can't even watch both games as the NFL, I think, screwed up pooch. We'll start this one with Gene. We'll go Gene, Sanudo, Dole with Dad, and finish with Dave this week. Tell me what you're thinking as you look into week 2 here on the field, Dave. We'll start with Gene. 1-2 matches.
I love the matchups, and I feel like this is going to be the idea throughout the whole season. Anytime you have the two teams from the AFC West mixing it up, I feel like that's always going to be the game of the week. You got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs, and then you also have the other 2 teams in the division as well. I feel like whenever they're going to play each other, it's going to be a battle. Like in week 1 and week 2. I also love the Arizona and Las Vegas game. I think that's going to be another great one as well.
Interesting. Okay. Sanudo?
Let's look at Carolina and the Giants. I really think the Giants have a strong possibility of starting off the season 2-0. And then going into leading their division after 2 weeks would be something the Giants haven't done for quite a while. The other game I want to look at is the Jets and Cleveland. It feels like it's 2 teams that are going the opposite direction. And, the question is going to be, is Watson going to play by that time? If he does, maybe Cleveland's a contender. But if he doesn't, it'll be fun to watch the Jets roll all over Cleveland.
Oh, look at that. Go with Dad. What do you think?
2-0.
I don't understand the 2 games at the same time on Monday night. That said, Tennessee at Buffalo could be huge for the AFC East. Buffalo is in LA to start the season. We just talked about it. Buffalo could easily lose a game to Tennessee. Tennessee's for real. They got Derrick Henry. They got a lot. I like them. I'm not saying they're going to be favored, but they could pull off that upset, and Buffalo could be 0-2. That's huge. Obviously, Kelly's not here, but KC getting beat by my Chargers will make me happy to start the week. So it's going to be a big week. I really want to hear why they're doing 2 games on Monday night concurrently. I don't understand that.
I don't get it either. It doesn't make much sense to me. Dave, you're up.
So Steelers start 0-2. Not sure how this is going to go down. And again, I don't know why you have Chicago Green Bay this early in the season. Like, what is going on? That it is going to be 55 degrees on a cold and crisp, not even crisp. They're going to be wearing shorts in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That not like I don't get it. I mean, I know it's not what it was, but historically that just doesn't seem like a game that you put early in the season. I digress from that. Denver could start 2-0.
Yeah,
in the West.
I agree.
That's true.
With Seattle and Houston, it's the exact opposite of what Jeff just said. It's the exact opposite. Could easily start 2-0 when they don't deserve to be.
That's true.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Josh. I don't think they go 17-0, but welcome in for your Vikings. Some other highlights I'd like to point out with this. First off, week 1, I didn't bring it up, but Carolina plays Cleveland, and the word is that Carolina might be a landing spot for Baker still. That'll be interesting after that game, see where that lays out. Going into week 2, a couple highlights that I think are interesting there is that going down here, looking at them. First off, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. Interested to see what could happen there. That's a main game stay in that division. Miami comes to Baltimore. If Miami's as legit as they say, do they give my Ravens a fit? Good possibility there. Could be interesting on that. Love the fact, where was it? I was looking at that Cincinnati and Dallas game. 2 weeks in a row, Dallas has top teams that they're playing against. That's going to make, they got a tough schedule this year when you come out and start with Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. I don't care if they're playing in Dallas or not. That's going to be a tough matchup. Gives Dallas
the Cowboys fan, it scares me. We could be 0-2 with 2 home games, and nobody'd be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again,
rough.
ticket prices all over the board. They will be all year long. Great pullouts. Tampa Bay, New Orleans is always a great matchup. New Orleans is one team that gives Tampa Bay a fit. You got that going on in week 2 also. And again, to Jeff's point, and I know everybody's looking at shaking their head saying, what in the name of James Earl Jones is going on? Why do we have, if you're going to have 2 games on a Monday night, for the love of all that's good, give them one early and one late so we can enjoy them both. Granted, it's Minnesota and Philadelphia. Not that those teams aren't good or anything. They're not major markets like a Dallas or a Los Angeles. But I would love to be able to watch one game at 7 and one game at 10 on a Monday night. I've always enjoyed that. So kind of frustrating there on that factor as they're doing that.
Surprises me. I don't quite get it.
But you can't do that anymore. With as many stoppages as they have for commercials these days, games are like 65 hours long.
Well, they all come in around the 3-hour range, roughly.
Nah, they're
3.5.
closer to 4.
They're closer to 4 now. I swear they are.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at week 3 here. We'll start this one with Sanudo. Go Sanudo, Dole Dad, Dave, and Gene on this one here. Let's talk about it here. Week 3's got some interesting matchups. I think I went too high on the screen there for Pittsburgh. Did I not? I did. Let me bring it down.
That game doesn't matter. Just leave it off the screen.
No, absolutely not. We want to talk about that game for sure.
Right, Josh? Absolutely.
All right, let's go. Sanudo, you're up.
I think week 3 we start to figure out what teams are really the good teams in the NFL, right? It's right around week 3. And I hate to say that this is a do or die week because it isn't, but it's getting pretty close for some of these teams. I like 2 upsets this week. Kansas City at Indianapolis. I think Matt Ryan is this year's Stafford. I really think that he's going to turn it around with a good quality team with them. And I think they upset Kansas City at home. And then Buffalo at Miami. Miami's made quite a lot of changes this year. I think maybe Buffalo, they're getting a lot closer to Buffalo in that East. And I think maybe they could take them this week.
Well, that's a great point. Let's transition that because Josh just said, hey, I'm indifferent on the Dolphins, but what do we make of all of the moves there? Do they have 3 to 4 number 1 running backs? And how will they incorporate all the new wideouts? Let's take a timeout in the schedule real quick. Let's start. Sanudo, I'll go you first, and we'll go the same order. What do you think about Miami this year? What's your opinion on where they're going based on Josh's question?
They just paid a lot of money to a wide receiver coming over from Kansas City. Everything's going to run through Hills this year. I think he gets 120 catches this year.
Okay, interesting. So with that, I know you absolutely love seeing Tua on the bench. What are you thinking about Miami?
You're saying exactly right. I love their roster except for at the quarterback position. I just don't get it. You dove in with him. I guess they still believe in him. I don't get it. I don't see how they win with him. So it doesn't matter what else they've got because quarterback's the most important position in all of sports. That said, they've got a great roster. They really do have a great roster. Do I think what he just said he'll get 120 catches? I don't because I think Tua throws like I punt.
Okay, well, I love it. Dave, where are you going with Miami this year?
You're a Hall of Fame punter, buddy.
Exactly. I wasn't junior. JV, 86 or so. Yeah.
We've all heard the water everywhere and not a drop to drink. And I feel like that's what it's going to be with all of that talent on that team and no one to get them the ball.
That's what I think.
I whatever the rumors are and whether or not you believe them, I think they went all in on the fact that they were going to be able to snipe Tom Brady from across the state.
I don't want to be like conspiracy theorist, but you're right, Dave.
I think they were going to be able to, and they're like, look, if we can get Tom Brady in here for 2 reasons. One, he's obviously going to do well with the people that they decided to try to put around their quarterback. And
it was
2,
a done deal.
Who else is better to show Tua Tagovailoa, who has actually won championships before with some leadership, how to become a leader than Tom Brady? Like, for realsies. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with that. And I'm going to piggyback off of this and say it's a possibility that if they get their ish together, that Buffalo starts 0-3.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow. Gene, want to highlight on the Dolphins? They're in your division. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I do think they're the second best team in the division. It took a little bit for me to get there. I'd still at one point thought it would still be the Pats. I do think that Miami has leapfrogged them. But again, the quarterback is the problem. I think they're going to win games this year, but I think they're going to win ugly. I think it's going to be a very Shrek-like season for the Miami Dolphins. I think they could put together maybe 9-10 wins, but it's going to be a lot of 13-10, 23-20. I don't think they're going to put up a lot of numbers with Tua. They're going to need the receivers to help him out dramatically, and they're going to need those running backs to really carry the load and keep the ball on that side of the on their side.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I just don't think Tua's He's
Tua's
just not the guy. Yeah.
As a follow-up, Josh says that's where I think Tyreek eats short and intermediate throws, and that turns into big things. Good point. It's that Tua's only real throwing strength, pretty much.
But you're
Pretty
going to
much.
press the heck out of him with a safety over the top.
Yeah.
Tua puts it up.
Yeah.
Big picks.
That's like you're taking a guy who's used to being told to go, you go straight downfield now to run good routes. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
I agree. He's not really the great. He doesn't really run the route tree really well.
He's not. He's not.
Here's
He's
the thing.
not quick. He's fast. There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge,
Huge
yep.
difference.
I agree.
Miami's going to have 5 jet sweeps a game, just getting the ball to Tyreek. That's the only way they're going to get it to him.
It's possible.
Consistently.
That's a great call, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you're looking at a fantasy football roster and you're planning on grabbing Tyreek because you think he's going to have 100 catches and a bunch of yak, I don't think the yak comes. I think you have highlight-ish ones, but
No.
I don't. I
think
just.
the
I don't.
only,
I could see him get
agree with
11 catches every game.
The only yak is
Mahomes
coming
didn't
from when
come
you're
from
sitting
Miami.
here yakking watching the game when it's not going the way you have him. That's the way. Walt says he gets 100 catches because Tua throws 10 to 50-yard passes and lets Hill get a ton of yak. So we'll see. Walt or Dave, one of you two is going to be right. We'll see who it is by the end of the year. Gene, I know you only got a little bit of time left, so let's finish out this week before you roll out. Dole with Dad, let's talk about week 3. What's jumping out at you here?
Me or Gene?
You.
Rams, Stafford at Murray and Arizona. Green Bay, the freaking, I'm not even going to say his name, at Brady. Those are marquee matchups, but I really like the Sunday night game. I think Lance probably is going to be starting there. I think more of that because Garoppolo's injury. I really like that kid. Him at Denver in Denver could be a coming out party. We'll see. I'm excited about that week. There's a couple of good quarterback matchups there.
I like that one too. Dave, what are you seeing out there?
Well, I'm thinking that much like someone said, the New York Giants could start 2-0. It's also possible they could start 3-0, and Dallas starts 0-3
Okay.
in New York.
Where's Dallas?
could happen.
Where's Dallas this week?
They're at New York
At New York. Wow.
On Monday
you think
night.
they
Yeah.
Lose in New York
on Monday
Interesting.
night.
So
All right,
I think
Gino.
we likely beat the Giants soundly, but I don't disagree. I'm not excited right now about a lot of that. The schedule early is rough.
Schedule early is rough. I
It's
agree
hard
with
to
you.
come back.
Gene, what are you looking at?
I love the Vegas Tennessee game. I think that's going to be a matchup of the week, and of course, Jeff hit it on the head with Green Bay, Tampa Bay. I mean, it doesn't really get too much better than that on a week 3. That's
And maybe
that's
the
one of those
last
games that
time
you
we get
look
to
at.
see those two.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great point.
Yeah.
that's true. Before I ask Gene about his team and he rolls out for the night, the other highlights for this week, again, Pittsburgh and Cleveland on a Thursday night. It'll still be a good matchup because it always is when those two get together. Could be interesting right there. I absolutely love the fact that the Patriots are coming to Baltimore. That should be a really good game there, a game that we could go either way. Again, I don't know. I'm optimistic about what our team's going to do and how they're going to be. And one other one that I think could be interesting this year, this week, is Seattle-Atlanta with Mariota going back out to the West Coast. He's a West Coast kid, got a lot of family and all out there. We'll see if he tries to come in and step it up at a Seattle team that's kind of fledgling a little bit. And I don't care. The one team I'm going to throw out there, I absolutely love this coach from Detroit. The guy is just no nonsense in your face.
I do too.
I love what I can't wait to see what they're going to do this year. I hope they improve just because I love that guy and I hope he keeps coaching. So those are highlights of week 3. That's great thing. Gene, before you go, real quick, honest scenario synopsis, because I'm going to ask all the guys. You've kind of looked over the schedule, I'm sure, in prep of this and all. Where do you realistically think the Jets, all joking aside, where do you think they land this year?
I think they're going to be improved. I say they could get 8 wins. It's going to be tough. Just laughing. I think that's legit. I think that's legitimate. I think if their weapons turn out to be what we're all hoping, they added another piece to their running game.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line I think will be improved this year with the new guard they brought in. Obviously, they got new weapons for Wilson. And the defense I think will be improved. They added a really good corner. They added a pass rusher. We're getting some guys that were injured last year back, and Carl Lawson. So I think this year can be an improved year. The hardest part is just getting over the hump in that division. That division is everyone else has gotten better, just like we have. So other than that, I do think we could get 8 wins. It'll be
Here's
tough.
my question: are they last in that division still?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
they are. But I do think that I do think we'll see a vast improvement from what they were last year. I think they're on the rise.
Okay. Before I
Are they
bring my
drafting in the top 10
I'm sorry.
again? Are they again drafting in the top 10 at the end of next season?
I think they draft in the teens.
Beans. Okay, interesting. I like it. I like your optimistic. Tell us a little bit about where you're going, where you're going to be, all that kind of good stuff. Because I know you got to roll out, and get ready for your show.
Yep. We're at the Disney Underground. It's me and Disney fanatic Greg and Sammy D from JSA Creations, and we have a special guest announcement. Well, a bunch of people are coming on board,
Absolutely.
but you'll be with us as well for pretty much the whole episode, and we're looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. We'll be over there afterwards. So check out the Disney Nerdy Network and everything they have going. G, we thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here tonight, buddy. We will see
buddy.
you next week.
All right, my man. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Sorry about
Later,
your
guys.
chest.
All right. So
Later.
Gina's out, but let me bring in a caller here because callers are good. They always got something to say. So, caller, you're on. Go ahead.
Tua and Tyreek Hill. This is for David. Last year, Pat Mahomes threw 27 passes at or behind the line of scrimmage to Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
only threw 16 passes 30 yards or deeper to him. He is a yards
Okay.
after the catch guy. He doesn't have to throw it further than him because they're not going to throw it there. I'm telling you, I agree. I don't think Tua's that good, but he won't have to. It'll be behind the line of scrimmage and let him run. He doesn't have to. He is quick. He's not a sprinter. He's not Ronaldo Nehemiah, but he's very quick, and that's what they're going to do.
Good
That's,
call.
I'm reading the stats. You guys can check it. Maybe these stats are wrong that I'm reading, but that's what they do. That's what Mahomes did. He didn't have to throw it down the field.
Dave, your rebuttal to Mouse Talk.
Why are we looking at statistics? They mean nothing in football.
Well, the statistics are the facts. The numbers.
I'd have to agree with Walt on that one.
I understand what that means. Something different. You guys are 50 touchdowns. What does that mean? That means nothing.
You know, there's 3 types of lies in the world, Walt, right? Lies, damned lies, and statistics.
Well,
No, you're right, dude. You're right. I get it. I get it. I get it.
I understand
There's-
the rebuttal. You want to win this one. I think you're going to lose this one. I love you guys.
It's all good,
Mouse
brother.
Talk, everybody. Check him out on his channel.
all
We
good.
appreciate you all. He'll be back.
Ronaldo Nehemiah talk.
Can I have a rebuttal, though?
Yes.
Can
go
I
ahead,
have a
Sergio.
rebuttal? I know
Yes.
you don't. Here's the thing, though. Kansas City had a tight end that took the top off the defense.
Thank you.
Miami does not. That's the
Eddie
difference.
Lee.
I don't know, man.
There-
Wait for
You-
Gesicki this year.
Yeah, I like Gesicki too. I think he's a good ball
I like
player.
The offense in Miami will not be comparable to the offense last year in KC.
I
Because
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't understand this
agree.
conversation.
You're not meant to, Jeff. You're just here for the eye candy, Jeff. So,
You're welcome.
all right, let's jump into to week 4 here. Thank Mass Talk for coming in. Thank you, Tina, for dropping his link. Tina, if you could also drop the link for my other people on the dais tonight. It is Dole Whip Dad, my broadcasting partner every Thursday night. It is Dave of Brandy and Dave, regular on the channel, and Sanudo is coming in on behalf of Escapades of PJJ. We love Justin, everything that he and Joy are doing over on their channel. Great people, great channel itself. So week 4, let's take a look at it. We'll go Dole Whip Dad. So actually, we'll go Dave, Sanudo, and Dole Whip Dad last, just because it annoys him. Let's see what we got here over on week 4. What are you looking at? What games are jumping at you as we look into this? We're back into one game on Monday nights.
Which is weird.
Yeah, Mouse Talk
this
was
is
back in your view.
why did Gene leave? Why did Gene leave before I get to talk about the that Pittsburgh's actually going to get in the W column when the Jets come to Pittsburgh in week 4?
He specifically asked to leave before week 4.
I figure. Whew. This looks like a boring week. Buffalo, Baltimore game of the week. Okay, cool. Does Tom Brady still play for New England? I'm kidding. Tampa Bay, Kansas City is going to be good on Sunday night, for real. And Monday could get interesting. Depending on how San Francisco comes out the gate, Monday could get interesting.
I think a lot of the games are the primetime games. I agree with you. Justin, what are you seeing over there?
Two games I want to look at: Minnesota and New Orleans. Minnesota, they think they're contenders. New Orleans think they're contenders. Maybe this week we figure out which one is which. So that game, plus it's 9:00 in the morning in London. How can you not love that, right?
Yes.
The other game I want to talk about is the first time I talked about Chargers. I know you're going to ask Pete about my Chargers, what I think of them this season. The Chargers' tendency is to play to their competition. And I can feel this being a trap game, and I can feel at Houston that Houston pulls up this upset against the Chargers this week. I hate to say.
Wow. Well, with that, I'm just going to turn it over to Dole Whip Dad. Go.
No. But I'm going to talk about Detroit, because when will I ever get to do this again? Picking Detroit for the win in week whatever this is at home against Seattle without who. KC at Tampa Bay is marquee. Mahomes and Brady. I like the Rams at San Francisco. I really like San Francisco a lot. I want to see what goes on with Lance. That could be a huge game. I think I'm done.
Okay. I'm loving all this as I'm seeing this week as it comes out. Yes, I agree. It could be a slow week for the whole thing. That's one thing for sure. But I'm looking at a couple unique facets here. Let me pull that down. I was wondering where the numbers went. There they went. They were hiding on me. Looking at a couple things here that I thought would be interesting. The point, Ryan and Josh are bringing a lot to the chat tonight. Thank you guys.
They are.
Great points.
I agree.
Incredible points. And that Cleveland game could be interesting right there. Who's the quarterback? Where's it going? What's up, Old Man Burger? Welcome in. Tennessee,
Gary.
Indianapolis could be interesting this week as it goes through. Again, Jacksonville, do they grow? Jacksonville, Philly could be a unique matchup. We know the marquee games. Baltimore game, Tampa Bay game, San Francisco is marquee on there. New England at Green Bay could be a sleeper game at 4 o'clock too. With that one, I still don't know where New England's going to be or what they're going to do. I'm still trying to figure that out for this year, but it will be interesting all the way through. So, all right, let me jump up here and pull up week 5. We're going to get through as many weeks as we can this as we're doing this, and then kind of go from there. Why won't it let me go to week 5? Come on. It's giving me a fit. I love ESPN.
I see you, Tina. I see you.
Just so you know, I'm doing a deep dive into Tyreek's stats right now, so I'll have a rebuttal here shortly.
I blame Walt for that one.
Great. Way to get him fired up, Walt. Thanks.
I am not doing a deep dive into.
We're about to get a
receivers.
Dave rant in a few minutes here.
I didn't have one last night.
Good. He saved it all up for tonight. Fantastic. It'll be interesting.
All right.
All right. Let's jump over to this one. Oh, and again, to Dave's point, I think it was on week 4, we also get our first out-of-country game with a 9:30. Dave or Justin, whoever said that. 9:30 game on Sunday for the first time. God bless. There is nothing better. I don't care what anybody says than getting up in the morning on the East Coast, 9:30 in the morning, getting a football game, 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8. It is like Christmas. I love it. I'm excited about it. So week 5, we got Thursday matchups all the way down to Monday. We'll start with Sanudo. Go Sanudo, Dole Whip Dad, and Dave on this week. We'll probably only get through one more week here because we're going to go to just about 9 tonight. But we'll get through a good quarter of the schedule. Go ahead, Sanudo. You're up.
I want to talk about those 2 bottom games, Cincinnati at Baltimore. I really think this is the division where the worst from last year can be number 1 this year, which is Baltimore, and number 1 last year, which was Cincinnati, can be the worst this year. And I think this game is going to tell where these 2 teams are. Also, Las Vegas at Kansas City. I think after week 5, we're going to have this headline all over ESPN is what's wrong with the Chiefs? Because I don't think they're going to have more than 2 wins after week 5 because I think Vegas puts the beating on them, and then we start talking about what is wrong in Kansas City.
I like it. I wish Kelly was here to go absolutely let that vein thing come out. You know, Jeff, when he does that thing with the vein.
Absolutely bonkers.
Jeff, what are you thinking with here? Week 5.
I think he's right. I think with the headline, Casey, what's wrong? Is Patrick Mahomes done? Those kind of headlines because they're going to be 2 and 3. I worry about my Cowboys. We've been talking about them. This is week 5. They'll be in LA for the Rams. We could be 2 and 3. I'm still going to be picking them to win the AFC East or the NFC East, excuse me. but I see them starting 2-3 potentially. That's gonna be rough. That's the game of the week. Cowboys at Rams. Sorry, that's the game of the week.
Cowboys and Rams. Interesting. Dave, what do you got?
I agree with Sanudo. It's a good possibility Kansas City is climbing out of the AFC West after Week 5. Cincinnati, Baltimore, that was a good take too, 100%. That's going to show who's going to who probably going to be in charge of that division for the rest of the season. I don't know.
Okay, I go with it.
Nothing else jumps out. Oh, there you go. Pittsburgh's back to 1-4 at this point in the season.
At this point in the season, welcome in, Cricket. I love it. Movie Mania Nick ended with Josh and the guys with great comments. So a couple of highlights. First off, this starts the first Thursday night that it's on Prime Video. You got to have Amazon Prime, or you're not watching the game. So that'll be interesting. Hashtag can't wait for that, because I'll have a ton of people watching that Thursday night game with me because they won't be able to get it. So that'll be fun there on that end. As for highlights of the week, stuff that I saw right there, New Orleans could be about 4-1 by this week. They've got a chance right there. 5-0, 4-1 with their schedule so far. Now they get Seattle. They've been playing a lot of teams early that are a little bit softer on that. San Francisco's got to travel across the country. For some reason, they have trouble in Carolina area every time they come across the country, no matter how good they are. So that could be interesting. And to your point, Vegas and Kansas City, again, primetime games, they are stepping up. I'm very happy with this. Indianapolis, Denver could be solid. Baltimore, Cincinnati on Sunday night. Vegas, Kansas City on Monday night. I like the prime timers. That's going to be good. And 9:30 a.m., again, out of country in London. We got another 9:30 game, another week, 2 weeks in a row. This time you get New York, Green Bay coming in on the NFL Network. So that should be a lot of fun. So week 5 with some interesting stuff there. And as we get into this, I mean, I like looking at this as we go in for the way they put this together and tried to figure out how they were doing it and all that. Come on, let the schedule come through. ESPN, the way they do their thing here is a little tough. Come on, let me go down with it. How I just did it a minute ago. I want to get to week 6. This is the best scheduling.
Tina brought up the question about why some of those tickets were so expensive. It's those London games in New York and Green Bay. I think all those people in London want to see Aaron Rodgers before he retires.
Without a doubt, that's a big factor.
Yeah.
All right, come on, let me come down, tab, let me try to tab down. It's weird with the way the NFL does this. They don't want you to easily get to the schedule. There we go. Week 6, let's pull it up. Boom, coming up here on the schedule in just a second. We are using ESPN site this today. It looked the best on the screen, so that's why we use them. All right, let's see where we're at here. This will be Dole Whip Dad's turn. We'll go Dole Whip Dad, Dave, and Sanudo. This one, there's your matchups we got. Buys start this week. Detroit, Tennessee, Vegas, and Houston on buys. Dole Whip Dad, what's jumping out at you?
Buffalo at KC. Both teams are going to have more losses than they wanted to have at that point. It's going to be a huge game in KC. So I think the loser of that game is going to be in a lot worse shape than anybody who's a fan of those teams wants to believe. I've been talking about my Dallas schedule's rough. It gets easier here. Now we're at week 6. We're probably going to be 2-3. Obviously, that's just my guesstimate. But as much as I like us better than Philly, we got to travel to Philly. We've got to have an upset in those first weeks. We could be in trouble there. I don't like going to Philly at 2-3. But the best game of the week is by far, in my opinion, the Monday night game, which is weird. Denver at the Chargers. I think with what I think about KC, these are the two best teams AFC West. I think the winner of this game has the road to win in that division.
Love it. Love it. Dave, what are you thinking for week 6? Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
Is it too early? Is week 6 too early for a must-win game? I don't think so. I think Denver and Chargers, this is a must-win game for both of those teams.
Absolutely. When you're talking about in division, there's no such thing as too early. You get 2 shots at each team. If you're the best team and they're the second best team, those 2 games are the most important games. They just are. They're worth more than the 2 games. So no, it's not too early. I don't care if it's week 1.
before I go to Dave, I actually feel bad for you guys, for you and Justin, because that division is downright sick. And it's literally it's honestly like you picked up, in their prime, you picked up Mike Tyson, and you picked up, George Foreman in their prime with the power and strength they have, and they're both hitting each other in the face, because that's what that division is this year. And it's going
when we did last week the rankings.
Yeah,
wasn't every team from the division in the top 10? I think
top
they
10.
were.
Yeah, all four top 10.
So
Dave,
one of those
you're
teams
up.
has to be in last place. Think about that.
Yeah, you could be last place and be a great team. That's the scary part.
What we think is a top 10 team, one of them is going to be in last place.
Yep.
I mean, that's crazy.
Dave, what's up with you? Week 6.
Steelers have to face Tom Brady again, which they don't like to do ever. So neat. This makes them 1-5. You see what I'm going with here? This 3-14 season might actually happen. By the way, did anyone see the stat that Pittsburgh has the least amount of miles traveled for any team this season?
Yeah.
Did you see?
I don't know.
Did you see how many miles? Who was it? Some team had I think it's
Green Bay.
I don't know.
Probably
somebody
Jacksonville. Doesn't someone go to Europe twice?
I don't know.
No,
I remember thinking
probably Jacksonville.
Yeah, nobody going to Europe twice, but I think Green Bay, with the way their travel schedule goes, because they're constantly going coast to coast, they have a ton of miles.
Here's my 2 cents.
And again, they're going to Europe too. So.
Someone's going to get screwed. It's going to be a big story next year, and we're going to have at least talk about, if not the actualness of realignment. And we need it in the NFL. We do. We need it. I mean,
great call out.
It's a mess. It's
Great
an absolute freaking mess.
Absolutely love that. Great call out.
Makes a lot of sense.
I love all that for week 6 here. My biggest highlights this week, why on the primetime game, it's on Prime Video again, but really Washington, Chicago, I'm not seeing that as the primetime game they could have done. In my eyes, they could have looked into this schedule and grabbed a couple other different games and put them on Prime. Buffalo, Kansas City would have been a perfect one to put on Thursday night or, on Prime somehow with it, but it is what it is. Cincinnati, New Orleans, we'll see there. That could be New Orleans' first real task. Minnesota, Miami, interesting right there. Green Bay and the Jets. I can't wait to see what the Jets do this year. With Gene not here, I can say it. I'm curious with all the picks to see what they do. Week 6 doesn't jump off the boards as a major thing. I agree with everybody. Major game of the day are your Sunday and Monday night games for what they're going to be, and that'll be interesting all the way through. So we've covered through week 6. That's covered through. Yes, Dave?
I have my rebuttal to Walt now.
Okay, give you that. I'll give you that in 1 second.
Now that you looked at the stats that you said don't matter.
Second.
All right.
Josh Schuler,
And so-
appreciate you being in here, supporting us
Hey,
and
Josh.
the guys. We look forward to you
Hey,
being
Josh.
back, and welcome in KK. All right, we're going to go over here. I'll let Dave rebuttal over a chat question. Get your questions ready for the guys to ask them questions here. But Dave, rebuttal time, #go.
All right. Tyreek Hill's ADOT has decreased since 2018 by 4.5 yards. Average depth of target has decreased. So I'll give you that. But yards after catch per reception has also decreased by 32%. So we're down from 6 yards down to 4 yards. There's another statistic saying that anything that has been thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage is an average of 6.5 yards, but only 4 yards of advancement of the ball from the line of scrimmage. So cool. That's great. I'm not using Tyreek Hill. Yes, his targets downfield are down, but he's been utilized differently, and there's been no one who can run the underneath routes on that team in the last 2 years. If you look at the Chiefs roster, you have Hardman, Robinson, Sammy Watkins, and Edwards-Helaire in 20, and then you look at 21, and the rest of it's Hardman, Pringle, Williams, Demarcus Robinson. No one there is running an underneath route like Tyreek Hill can. So they moved him there on purpose. You have Travis Kelce to blow off the top. I get that. But
Okay.
dude's not built to catch the ball at the line of scrimmage and get 15, 25 yards out of it. And I don't know why you're going to put someone that you just paid $1 billion for in a position where he's going to get hit that much.
All right, I'm giving Dave a whole lot of points just for the simple fact that he went and did more research than he does at work in the last 30 seconds with a beverage in his hand. You know,
that's fair.
More than I did in college.
Well, and also I'm giving one to the chat for right now. I don't usually do this. I'm giving it to Josh with a great call out. Hill is Miami's new Debo. That's a great call out right there. I absolutely love that. All right, this is the part of the show where we get ready to finish up and we allow you in the chat to ask questions, so the guys in the dais will do it. Tina's got a great question there, so let's start it out with that one. Guys, we'll go Dave, Jeff, and Justin on this one. Tina says, if you could have two teams, any two teams, play in any country for a unique game, which two teams and what countries are you choosing? David, go.
I've got mine.
Okay. I am going to go back to my favorite joke that I've ever made on this podcast and say that it would be the New England Patriots versus the Jacksonville, now London Redcoats.
I love it. I still think that's a great call out. Don't whip Dad, you're up.
This is the easiest question I've ever been asked. I want KC and Denver to play. It's not really a country, in Antarctica, and I want them to get stuck down there for a couple weeks because I want the Chargers to win the division.
I love it. Sanudo, you're up.
You guys had really smart answers. I got a stupid one. I would love to see a game maybe in Asia, maybe in Tokyo. Seattle's got a good Asian following. Seattle against the Chargers in Tokyo. I'd like to see that.
I can't top
that'd be
those.
awesome.
My Chargers, no.
I can't top those. Those are fantastic. Those are fantastic answers. I love that.
I hate all the travel. I hate it.
Josh says the Vikings in Iceland versus the hated Ice Queen, the Packers. That's another great call out. I'll give that call out as well. I love that.
Like hockey does the outside game on was that a Christmas Day or whatever? They do the outside game.
That would be good.
Yeah.
An old
I want them to play in
redo in Iceland.
Greenland.
I love it.
Greenland, North Pole, anywhere like that.
I love it. Magic of the Mouse Radio Bill says, hey, Dave, does Kenny Pickett start for the Steelers by week 6?
So I saw him drop this question in earlier, and I literally shook my head because my over-under for when they decide to throw Trubisky to the curb and go to Pickett is 5.5 games.
5.5 games. So there you go, right there. We'll go this one to Dole Whip Dad. Movie Mania Nick says, from who got traded? Let's go everybody. So we'll start Dole Whip Dad, Sanudo, and Dave. Okay. From everybody that got traded, who do you guys think will have the biggest impact on their team? Great question, Nick. Dole Whip Dad, who do you think?
Wow, that is a great question. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but if Debo gets traded, I'm going to go with Debo. Is that a cop out? I think Debo's still the play there. I don't really believe he's going to get traded, but I feel like am I copping out, or is that a good answer?
No, because I hope he gets traded to the Ravens. I'm hoping.
All right, I'll go with that then. Yeah, I would do.
Sanudo, you're up. Your thoughts?
You know, this trade has gone under the radar after all the big trades with Hill and Brown and whatnot. I'm being a little bit of homer, but Khalil Mack to the Chargers is going to be the biggest impact this year.
Great call out. Great call out. Khalil Mack is still a monster. He's still got talent. He may not be as quick, but he's still quick, and he can get.
And you're right. Why is that so under the radar? Like, you're totally right. They're a good team. They almost won their last playoff game. They had a big playoff run. He's one of the best defensive players of the last decade. Why are we ignoring it? That's a good point.
Right.
Tina, the answer is Sanudo. Right there. Dave, you're up. What's your answer to that one? Traded.
Hollywood to Arizona.
Hollywood to Arizona. Great call out. Yeah.
It's completely off the radar, but we could be saying, why the hell did Baltimore let them go? For real.
He wants major money.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I'm just, you know.
So that's a good point, though.
You know how people back.
I love that. All right. So real quick, before the guys talk about what they got going, couple things. One, if you're new to us, we come in here every Thursday night and do this NFL chat. It's all friends hanging out together who love football, are passionate about it, and we do that every week. We'd love for you to come back. We also will be doing I have fantasy pick'em leagues. I have all kind of stuff going this year. We do have a $25 pool that I run for people that are interested in a survivor pool. Paid out $6,000 last year. We'll have opportunities for that. All kind of stuff we're going to do with the channel itself. Summer Obi has a question, and when Summer Obi asks, I give you an answer. I'm going to throw this one to, I can't give it to Dole Whip Dad because it's his guy. Trey Lance. So I'm going to
Love
go with Dave. You filled in for Kelly this week. Scale of 1 to 10. What success will Trey Lance have this year? Go with you and Sanudo. What do you think?
Who's Trey Lance?
San Francisco 49ers.
He's a punter. No.
Oh, is this the quarterback guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, 2.
2. Sanudo, what do you think?
Listen, there are football teams on the West Coast. I don't pay attention to any of them. So,
Sanudo, how about you?
Brandon and Dave's mouth
This is
something.
going
What the heck?
to be a tough season for Lance. I'm going to say a 5. You're going to, you're not going to have much quarterback competition at the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the year, you are. Garoppolo's going to be there. He's going to be healthy towards the end of the year. They already got a wide receiver that wants out, so you have all this drama going on. I don't think it's a healthy atmosphere for a young starting quarterback.
I agree. Next week when we come back, we'll talk. I'll get you 1 second, Jeff.
Oh.
Next week when we come back, we will talk week 7 to about week 12. And the week after, we'll finish out the season, go into there over the next 3 weeks, look at the schedule. So with Dad, hands up. What do you got?
I love both of these guys. I agree with them more than I don't, and they both just stepped in it. I'm sorry, guys. Love you. Trey Lance, there's a better chance he's in the MVP conversation than what I just heard. I love the kid. I love the Niners team this year. I'm not a fan of the Niners, but I really like what they got going on. That's a very hard division, and they still got Garoppolo there, but I think there's more likely he's a top 5 MVP guy than not the starter out there next year.
Interesting. I kind of think I agree with Jeff that he's got the talent. I just think he's going to run through those first year blues. They always do. I think he'll be better in his second year. I give him about a 5 mid-range, but I think he's a stud for the future over there. I think he's got.
I think him and Debo are going to be the talk of the NFL next year.
It'll be interesting. All right, so guys, make sure you're coming back next week for what we're doing. Let's talk right now. Going down top to bottom. What do you got coming up on your channel? Give everybody a little bit of insight, Dave.
I've been putting out shorts. Distant that just hit 3 years though. That's pretty solid.
Congratulations.
So,
yeah,
fun
congrats.
stuff over there. 3 years straight of nonsense. So, yeah, Brandy and Dave on the YouTubes. Check us out. We did just hit 3,300 subscribers somehow, some way.
Nice.
I firmly believe it's on the back of an old Bippity Boppity Boutique video, since Bippity Boppity Boutique is coming back shortly.
Nice.
So that's fun. And then Distant That, obviously, and TikTok, all the vertical stuff. So Brandy and Dave on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and such.
Love it. Doer Dad, what do you got going?
Little inside baseball for Dave. Did you hear what TikTok's creator money situation, Dave?
I did. I saw you tag me on IG.
Yes, I did. You're gonna like what you read.
Interesting part on that is that it's like, well, A, you have to have a boatload of followers, and B, it's still an ad share.
It's the first.
But it's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
It
is a step in the right direction.
To answer Pete's question into segue from what we just talked about. Come on, Sunday night, we're going to talk about a few things and a lot of revenue talking things. We do a Sunday night show. I haven't done it the last 2 weeks. My daughter, it's busy family life stuff lately, but who cares? Sunday night, we're going to talk about some monetization on YouTube. If you're a creator or a new creator or whatever, we're going to talk about a couple things, including vertical video and TikTok, mostly in a different point of view than I've had my whole freaking life on TikTok.
Wow.
Still not on.
What?
But, it is what it is. It's a huge.
Am I invited to this?
Huge. You can be. Yeah, we'll talk afterwards. And then I've been dropping some vlogs. I started a new diet, and it really fits into my life well. And I hope you check it out.
Awesome.
Dropped it today with my daughter. And yeah, you won't clap when you're done watching it if you watch it. But there you go. I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
Love it.
Sunday night, we'll talk about it.
Justin, what do you got coming up on Escapades with PJJ?
Yeah, the wife is at Disney right now, so I think Wednesday we're going to talk about her trip, and I might end up opening the credit card statement live.
That's worth the price of admission right there. That's worth it. Look, these guys, everybody, these guys are fantastic. Whether they're a regular, whether they're just coming in a couple weeks here and there, all the people. Thanks to Mouse Talk for calling in tonight. Yes, Jeff?
What do you have coming up on your channel, Pete?
Everybody knows I'm live all the time.
Oh, tell them again.
They know I'm live all the time. They can come see me.
Sunday or Saturday. Come on, it's a big day, whatever.
Saturday's a big day, but it's for the Disney community. It's more of our sports people won't be coming to that. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight. We'll be live Saturday night with basketball covering the NBA playoffs. I'll be back Sunday night with something. I haven't figured out what yet. USFL or baseball.
Sunday night was something.
I'll be back with some sports, USFL or baseball. It depends on how his schedule works out. But we'll be back next Thursday, 8 o'clock, right here in your face, talking about week 7 through about 12 or 13, and then talking about that in depth and looking into it. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. I should finish out with saying, hey, the leaderboard is up. I'm going to give points to Sanudo, Jeff, and Dave. Everybody gets points tonight because they sat through a schedule. Yeah.
It's like Bernie Sanders every freaking week out here.
I'm like Oprah. So Dave will be at 4. Dole Whip Dad will be at 4. You know what? Here's the thing. Just because he didn't come in, I'm giving Dole Whip Dad and Dave 2 points each, and Sanudo 2 points each. They're now at the top of the leaderboard when we come back. I'll even give Walt a point just for calling in. Why not? Let's get crazy. We'll see you next week, everybody.